Hey, we are in Hood River, Oregon, and we are going to ride the Post Canyon trails. This is El Dorado. We climbed up a couple other trails and got on El Dorado and climbed up this for a few miles. Now we're heading down it for a while, and then we'll hop off on, I think 8-track is where we're planning on hopping off. This is a 2-direction trail. It's not like a downhill specific trail at this point. Climbed up to the top, and there's just a little bit of El Dorado after a road crossing, and it's just climbing to get to the top because we've come so far. And I was hoping there'd be a view of Mount Hood and get a tiny bit of a view. I mean, it's cloudy today, so I think if it was even 25% less cloudy, there'd be an awesome Hood view, but you could see where it was. It was just mostly shrouded in the clouds. Yeah, we climbed up about 5.5 miles. Not all on El Dorado. And it was a generally really nicely graded climb trail, especially the last place we rode was Squamish, and made it up, but it was a lot punchier of a climb than I'm used to. Yeah. It's not a downhill flow trail. The corners are not bermed. But it is beautiful. This is like early mid-October in Hood River, and the fall colors are going off, and there's still a fair amount of green, so just the most beautiful mix. We came here about 4 years ago, and the climb, I remember the climb being worse than felt this time, and it's either because I'm in better shape now, or we had come up to Washington for my best friend's wedding, and so I might have still been recovering. Even by the time we hit Oregon, I might have still been recovering from that. So maybe that's why the climb felt so much worse. We also came here on our honeymoon road trip. That time we camped by a reservoir. I can't remember the name of the reservoir, but anyway, it's more on the dirt surfer side of these trails. So we rode dirt surfer, not the whole thing, but part of it. It rained on us last night and some this morning, but it hasn't rained on us at all during our ride. I think these are trails that can get unrideable if it's wet. I think it's pretty clay soil, but it didn't rain very much, and the trails are in really good shape right now. Gray and I have come to Hood River 3 times now, and we've camped somewhere different every time. The first time we camped, like I said, on a reservoir. Its name I can't remember, but I'll look up. It's very close to these trails, but yeah, on the dirt surfer side. When we came 4 years ago, we camped at Viento State Park, which was about 10 minutes down 84, close to the river, which was a really cool campground. We were originally going to stay there, but being this late in the season, the whole campground isn't open, or wasn't all reservable at least. And from what we read, the sites that were available have really bad train noise. They have road noise on one side and train noise on the other. So we did not stay there this time, and we're staying at Tucker Park, which is a county park. And it's on Hood River a little bit, probably like 10-15 minutes outside of town. and it's really nice. There's hardly anyone there. It's all first come, first serve, and I was kind of nervous about that, even though it's October midweek. So we were deciding, Grayson called them and they laughed and were like, yeah, there's plenty of camping. And then actually on their website, it shows how many campsites are available. And they have like 80 spots, and I think like 75 of them are available or something like that. And Hood River is great for food and wine and beer. We always love Freem. It's one of my favorite breweries that I've ever been to, like seriously top 10. And we have not been there yet. I think we're heading next. Last night we got in, we did a wine tasting, went to Upside Down Wine, and I liked all their wine, but I bought a bottle of their rosé, which I would highly recommend. And then we tried to go to this cool Nordic breakfast place called Broder Ost, I don't know. But they were closed today because they're having issues with their water. So we ended up going to Riverside Cafe, that's known for their breakfast sandwiches. And even though I was bummed, didn't get to have my Norwegian breakfast today, I really liked Riverside Cafe. They had good homemade English muffins, and their breakfast sandwiches are really great. There's also a place that we went when we were here in 2021 that I'm excited to go back, and it's a taco shop called Lake Taco. And we saw it and we were like, oh, we have to go there. That's hilarious. No clue if it's like good or not. And then several of the people we met here at Post Canyon recommended it to us without even knowing they were from Tahoe area. So we are gonna go back. So it's been a first for me on this trip. I'm usually, I am so sun sensitive, and I'm always wearing dark glasses. But between the northwest tree cover and the clouds and the time of year, I wore clear lenses in Squamish, and I wore my pink lenses today, but they were like darker pink ones, and they were too dark. I'm completely lens free right now, so I wouldn't get a stick in the eye. I should have brought my clear lenses or lighter pink, but this is the fourth place we've biked on this road trip. We biked in Mount Shasta, Bellingham, Squamish, and now here in Hood River. We also stopped on the Oregon coast. We didn't do any biking there. Well, there actually is biking. We just didn't prioritize it. We also did not bike in Whistler. I actually did not realize the bike park was still open. We were up in Whistler because I had a work conference there, which is a great place for a work conference. And Grayson was not working, and I asked him what he did. He's like, oh, I went and watched some people bike. I was like, where? Like, at the resort. I said, the resort is open? So I'm apparently not a very good mountain bike. I don't pay attention enough. I just assumed Whistler was closed for the season. But when we went there on our honeymoon, I was saying on our honeymoon we rode Vancouver Island and then Sunshine Coast and then Whistler, and then by the time we got to Squamish we were too beat up and tired, and so we did not ride in Squamish. So this time we prioritized riding in Squamish, and I'm happy with that decision. We climbed up 8 track. Now we're on Grand Prix. Yeah, we talked about just continuing to go down El Dorado so we didn't have to do the little climb up 8 track, but I said I was having fun on El Dorado, but only so much. It was nice to climb up, and it was okay to go down for a while, but just got like, couldn't just relax and let go, because it's, yeah, not like built as a purpose-built downhill trail, which is fine. But yeah, I felt like I couldn't just go on it and not in like a fun, challenging myself kind of way. More like a, oh God, this corner is annoying. But not to say, the trails are great. And there are lots of options. I was just done with that one. So we climbed up 8 track, which is a 2-way trail to get on this Upper Grand Prix. Woo! It's a fun little downhill. This is fun. I remember this. Oh, you're not gonna hit that drop, Gray? So you're not gonna hit that drop? That was a fun little toilet bowl. Yeah. And I went too far inside and my tire is still stuck. It's funny, like, I remembered having so much fun on these trails in Head River last time, but I actually didn't remember what they were like. But I do remember this part. That was fun. Did you like it? We climbed up baby GP, right? Yeah. God, I want to be in here now. Yeah, so it took me too long to catch on. GP is Grand Prix. So we actually climbed up baby GP as part of our climb. Then we were on Upper Grand Prix or Upper GP. Now we're on Lower GP. These are definitely flow trails. I think they're machine built. I did read that there is new since we were here last, a couple of hand-built trails called A side and B side that are a little like rougher. I said more like North Shore trails. Be interested to try, but we were planning to stick with pretty close to what we did last time just because we liked it, and there are a lot of options. And woo! Anyway, too many choices. So what we did last time was something someone had recommended to us, but saying to Grayson earlier, like, I don't need to go down El Dorado again. I think if we went all the way up it, I'd want to try some of the like other trails at the top that are moto and mountain bike legal. That, or yeah, go up a different way and try that A side and B side. trail forks, and their trail signs call both Upper and Lower Grand Prix blacks. And there are definitely optional drops and doubles, but I'd say it's on the easier side of an advanced trail if you don't do the optional big drop that I saw, and the double. Everything so far has been rollable. There's some steep bowls and steep downhills, but the dirt is like Velcro. And so we're looking for a three-way.
Yeah.
I'd call that on the easier side of advanced, wouldn't you? And then like the couple optionals would be like hard. Oh.
Sorry. Well, there's more now.
Why didn't I shift? Why didn't I shift? Oh, I did. Yeah, I thought I was in a worse gear than I was. Then I shifted too much. Yeah, I was like, oh no, I forgot to dump. And I dumped too many. Okay, now we're on the way. This is one we did not do last time, but sounded fun. Guy in the parking lot did it. I feel like I was in the middle of saying something before we got to where we got off El Dorado, but it has been so long and we've looked at so many trails trying to figure out where we were going that I completely forgot. So hope it wasn't important. Okay, that was the way, this is Cleeway. I guess it makes it slightly easier to remember the names when they kind of go together like that. So this is ranked a blue. And the description said everything's rollable, or where to go around, that there's some doubles and tables, but we shall see. In case you've never watched any of my other videos, I do not jump. but sometimes I will go on rollable jump lines because Grayson likes to do little tables. There's a fun little pumpy section after the tables.
Yeah.
This one and Grand Prix remind me of some of the trails in Ashland, the ones with the Alice in Wonderland names, the big machine-built flow trails. God, the clay is so hard. It is like pavement. Yeah, when we were here in July a few years ago, there's some spots where it was like so dry and hard that people had like burnt rubber onto the trails, like there were skid marks. You can see why this is one, if it rains enough, you can't ride here though. Gray, are these trails paved? Oh wow, is that dust? That's impressive. That's the first dust I've seen today. I think it might have just been chewed up pine needles though, or fir needles, I guess, here.